Hi Stampers, it's Christine from Christine's Stamping Spot. Welcome back for another Mystery Monday project. So today we are going to make a fall card using this new Nature's Harvest stamp set. I love fall, I love the fall colors. Now I don't necessarily want fall to start yet, but I do love all the colors of fall. And so this is a great stamp set for a fall project, and I was inspired by my friend Tamara, who did a project using this, and we're going to follow hers fairly closely, but she found hers also from the catalog. So I know this is a great resource for beautiful samples. So there are some great ideas in here that you can copy. So the stamp set is from the Harvest Meadow Suite, which you can find on page 54 of the current mini. And these are some of the samples and some of the products in the suite, which I'll share with you. And here is the actual stamp set. And this is similar to the card that we are going to make today. So I just wanted to show you some of that designer paper in the suite. It's the Harvest Meadow designer paper, and this is what it looks like. You get 12 sheets, 12 by 12, 2 of each design. So you've got this beautiful blue, I'm not sure if this is upside down here. So you've got the blue and some sort of crumb cake, this beautiful succulent pattern, some other crumb cake, blue, and some more sort of twig looking ones that you could always also use for a Christmas project. And on the back, they're a little bit more vibrant, so you've got some pretty bright colors going on the reverse, but those would also be handy for a different sort of project. And also, one of the pieces we're going to use is this beautiful cork specialty paper. Now you get two 12 by 12s in a package, and you just have to feel this. It is so soft and quite thin, but you can stamp on it, you can die cut it, you could use it for backgrounds. I think this is just perfect for fall projects. So let's get started. So this is our sample that we are going to do. I switched it up a little bit, and we are going to use a couple of our in colors and some blends, so I'll show you how we put together this card. So we are going to start with a piece of soft succulent as our base. This is one of our new beautiful in colors. And then we have a piece of that Harvest Meadow designer paper. Now it does have a little bit of script on here, so just to be aware of that when we're going to be putting this on our base. If you want it upside down or not is totally up to you. So what I'm going to do with this to start is I'm going to just sort of roughen the edges with my paper snips, just to give it a little bit of kind of a vintagey feel to the card. And if it tears a little bit, not to worry, as long as you're not putting in big gouges or anything. You just kind of want to roughen up the edges. We used to have a really good tool for this, which unfortunately was discontinued. I think I still have mine somewhere, but you can also just use a pair of scissors or something with a sharper edge, just to kind of go around the edges and roughen them up a little. If you also wanted to sponge around here, you could do that. That would also give it a little bit more of a vintage look, like with an espresso or a crumb cake, or even just the soft succulent. You could use that as well. So we're just going to roughen these edges a little bit. And if you want them a little bit more, then just go over it a second time, and just to kind of give it an extra sort of look. Okay, so we'll leave a little bit of a mess. Okay, so we can start by putting this on our base. Okay, so I want my writing the right way, so I'm going to put this on here. Okay, so now we're going to do some stamping. So what I did was I used one of the largest circle framelit layering circle to cut my circle out of basic white. So now we are going to stamp this big flower image and do a little bit of coloring with our blends. Okay, so it is rather large, so I'm going to just ink this up upside down. Okay, let's see how that goes. And then I'm just going to do this sideways so I can kind of see. Just give it a press down, and there is your image. Now what I did on my sample too is I added a little bit of splatter because I kind of like the look of that, and I grabbed that stamp from the sweet ice cream stamp set. It was just this little splatter here. So I'm just going to add a little bit of that in early espresso. And you don't need a lot, and you don't even have to do this step if you don't want to. But I just kind of liked a little bit of something else on there. Okay, so now we're going to color. Now these flowers, people have varying opinions of what they are. I'm going to go with echinacea or black-eyed Susans. And those can come, the echinacea anyway, in purples, I believe. But we're just going to do ours in sort of a Cajun color. So I'm going to take my blends. I'm going to start with my dark Daffodil Delight and just do my centers here on those two. And then I'm going to take my light Cajun Craze. Now I did want to point out on your blends, when you're removing the cap, you'll see there are these 3 little dots here. So what that is meant to do, instead of pulling your cap off, which I admit I have done, and I've actually broken some of my blends, but what you're going to do is you're just going to take your thumb and just sort of gently push that off, and that should help release it fairly easily. Okay, so I'm just going to start by coloring my petals here in, I think this is the light, I hope it is, yes, the light Cajun. You could also use pumpkin pie, I guess, if you didn't want the Cajun, or like I said, echinacea. I think it comes in purples. You guys probably know a little bit more about flowers than I do. I just know I like the fall colors, so I'm going to go with some fall colors here on my flowers. Okay. And there isn't that much to color really here, and I apologize if it's taking me a little bit longer because I know you guys all know how to color. So we're going to do the light first, and then we're going to add a little bit of the dark. I'm going to leave that open because I might come back to that. So this is the dark Cajun. So I'm just going to put a little bit of the dark under here and a little bit under here towards the top, just to give it a little bit of depth there. And then I'm going to go over it a little bit with my light again, just to kind of blend in that dark, so you don't necessarily see like a straight line. You just kind of want to go over it just to blend it, and then you'll see a little bit of a darker and then a lighter towards the bottom, and that's kind of what I want. Okay, so you can just go over your edges like so. All right, so my leaves and stems, I'm going to do an old olive. So I'm going to start with the light, and then I may just sort of accent a little bit with the dark. This one I think is starting to dry out a little bit. all depends how much you use them. Olive, I use quite a bit in my projects, so that's probably why it's not quite as juicy as it used to be, but that's okay. And then I'm going to take just a little bit of the dark, just to touch up some of these veins in the leaves here. A lot of you are probably much more adept at coloring and artistry than me, so feel free definitely to color any way you like. Okay, so that's all the coloring I'm going to do. And then we're going to put this here on our base. So I'm not going to pop this up with dimensionals. I'm just going to lay this circle flat, kind of like so. Okay, and then what I did on that cork here, I used the thank you stamp from the stamp set. There's also good luck and a couple of other ones which are lovely as well. And I stamped directly on the cork with the black memento and then cut it out with one of the hippo dies. So that's what that looks like. And then I just want to add a little bit of linen thread here. So I took a double strand and tied a bow. So I'm just going to attach this with a few glue dots. You could use the lovely lace ribbon that's in the suite. There is a new beautiful sort of lacy cotton that's beautiful. And then I will pop up my little thank you with some dimensionals. So I'm kind of using my end pieces here, so I'm not really sure how many I need. Oh, there's another regular one, so I'll use that too. And this paper, this cork paper is very thin actually, but I just love it. I think it's just so neat. And we'll put our thank you down here. And I think I might trim these tails of this just a smidge. Like so. And then the last thing I'm going to add is a couple of these beautiful brushed metallic back dots. These are new in the suite, and they're so pretty. They're great for fall projects or for masculine cards, and you've got 3 different colors, sort of a silver, a copper, and more of a brushed gold, I guess. They're brushed metallic, so that's why they're kind of a matte finish. So I'm just going to add a couple of those, and you can put those randomly wherever you like and whatever size you want. I'll just add 3 is always a good number. And there is your card. Now I did do another sample with a different piece of designer paper in the package. This one that is more sort of wheat looking here, and I did the background in crumb cake. Now I colored it exactly the same, just a different color palette for the paper and the cardstock. I used the same colors of blends, and then the happy birthday I took from the Pansy Patch stamp set, this one here, because I thought, oh, this would also make a nice birthday. It would also make a nice sympathy, nice. It's great for so many different occasions. So there you go, 2 different samples using the same stamp set. So I hope you enjoyed that project, and I do have a host code for August. If you're interested, you can find me at christineludwig.stampinup.net is my website. Facebook and Pinterest, you can follow me at Christine Stamping Spot, email chris.ludwig@hotmail.com, and August host code 9RZH9HMA. You're welcome to use that at checkout. And don't forget, celebration runs until the end of September. So with purchase of any product, $60 before shipping and GST, you can select an item from the Celebration catalog for free, and that is always a great deal. So I hope you enjoyed that, and have a great rest of the week. We will see you next time. Bye for now.